Like I remember there was like these Chinese guys that came to one of the reserves, saw a pack of lions and went out of the car.
They're fucking nuts.
Like you know. Oh,
The lions
shit.
were like sushi, baby.
Sushi, baby. All right.
Okay, thank you for being here. This is another episode of Another Day in Paradise, live from Rabat, Morocco. And
Jawad.
thank you so
Reda.
much for being here, Reda. It's an honor. I wouldn't be able to do it without you, literally.
All right, let's start. Becoming a bit too sentimental there.
So, a couple days ago,
Mm-hmm.
I went to the zoo.
Oh wow!
Honestly, very, very surprised.
Was it your first time at this
the-
one? Like at the
I'm trying to think if it was my first time ever. Probably not my first time ever, but at least it was my. Yeah, I haven't been in the zoo in over 20 years. I'm pretty sure last time I went to the zoo, I was a kid. But anyways, went to the zoo of Rabat with my daughter and my wife.
yeah.
I was a little bit reluctant to take my daughter because she's still a little young. She's
How
only
old
9
is
months
she
old.
now? It's
Nine,
like,
9 months old, like almost
it?
10. Yeah. So not
You would
much
think
for
that
her
she
to.
wouldn't really realize
Yeah,
where she is.
yeah,
Or...
yeah. So, but honestly, we did, and she loves animals and everything, like cats, dogs. She's like very, very
Curious about them.
curious about them, and she just stares at animals like stray dogs and whatever in the streets, and very, very, very impressed because I was reluctant a little bit to go because, a zoo is pretty much like a prison for animals. And
Yes,
just
true,
go
true.
visit them. Have you ever been to the one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Very cool.
Very, very cool.
Very, very cool. I would recommend everybody who hasn't been to go. It's not so much just for children; it's for everybody. Families, children can go. It's we saw a lot of animals. It's very big.
No, it's very big and very well populated.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Very well maintained, also like very clean. You feel
No,
like
even how it's the whole thing is thought. Like it's not like those cages. Like it's very open. It's you almost do sightseeing there. Like
And,
even the environment is quite interesting.
I think that's exactly it. It's not like animals pushed against the cage, and when you go by them, you have to see them because they are right there. Like they are almost in their natural habitat.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah, yeah.
observe them if you're lucky. And it's not like, animals are like putting up a show for you, like they are there, you cannot miss them. No, well, it's too bad. The lion was over there sleeping. I'm sorry. Well, maybe you should come back another time, which is how it should be. Like the animal is not working there. He doesn't have to, like the lion doesn't have to, okay, it's my shift. Okay, guys, see you later. And he just drops his cigarettes and he has to show up. It's very...
it's very well thought, and even like the whole place, like the buildings and all that. It reminded me a lot of South Africa, like the way they did those roof with like
the net?
No, like they do roofs with like I don't know, crops or whatever that is and stuff.
Oh, like natural,
Yeah.
habitats, etc. Yeah. No, honestly, it's very well thought. For example, we saw some hyenas.
Mm-hmm.
Some honestly, I was like a kid because it was very impressive.
Of course.
Very impressive. I was like, oh my God, like hyenas. This is really cool. And then you saw, like lions and giraffes. And here is something that happens when we went to see the giraffe. We went there and they were almost closed. We went on Sunday. And they said, and the security or the maintenance guy, he was like, oh, yeah, they're a little bit far, but let me see if I can attract them and bring them here. And I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, we can see them. We don't want them to like perform for us. This is not a circus, which we will talk about after that, because I think that's a big difference. And he said, no, no, no. And he started waving some branches and throwing some carrots so they would come and eat. And they did come. And they got really close. And my daughter was like,
Yeah.
her eyes were like this big. And
Did you do the thing where you fed them?
no,
and
we did
everything?
not feed them. But he
Okay.
told us that if you come at a certain times, like 12, between 12 and 12:30 and between 3 and 3:30, which we just missed apparently, like you could go up and then you feed them and they eat from your hands, etc. Which
Well, my brother actually won the uncle competition when he took her to my niece to the zoo.
yeah,
Like it's like
this is it. This was the highlights of her vacations,
Yeah,
for sure.
done.
For sure. Yeah, your brother told me that he goes there quite often, like on a regular basis, and he finds excuses every time there is a young kid. Hey, you want to go to
be
the
honest?
zoo?
To be honest, like it's I very often when I speak about the zoo with people, I always tell myself, why don't I just go there for a walk?
Seriously, that's what I'm planning to do.
Because it's not like
it's not very expensive.
it's not very
either.
expensive.
It's like $5, $5
and
dollars,
and
like
it's quite
50 dirhams.
a nice circuit.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
it's better than seeing
for sure. And you can
like,
go there and have a cup of coffee and sit in a nice place
yeah,
and under some trees, some branches, and have a nice cup of
it's-
coffee.
it's
It's
really
the best.
amazing.
It's really, really cool.
And like you have really all types, like they really did like sectors of different stuff where they recreate a bit the environment,
Yeah.
the ecosystems,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that stuff. It's really
for sure,
impressive.
for sure. Yeah, I think they were really really interesting. And so, did you feel like the animals were not happy to be there? Was it the ideal situation for animals? Let's be honest.
Mhm.
To be in that particular zoo, is it the ideal situation
No.
for that line? So,
No,
what is
of
the
course
ideal
not.
situation?
I think the ideal situation is obviously their natural habitat.
Okay, so this one is close, but it's
No,
not anywhere.
let's say that if you do a zoo, it's probably done the right way, I would say.
Okay.
Like it's like they don't have total freedom, but it's the next best thing, I would say. They have so much freedom. I don't know if you actually know that there was a death at that zoo.
A death,
Yeah,
like a
of
human
child.
death.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
What happened?
An elephant threw a rock at a child.
Really?
Yeah, and hit him in the head. So it's very sad,
It's
but
nature,
but
bitch.
like that's the thing.
Yeah.
It kind of shows you as well, like how not smothered they are. as
Or
well.
also, it shows you that it's like nature. It's the wild,
Yeah,
man.
it's the wild, of course. I did a couple of safaris when I was a kid
Where in
and-
South Africa?
in South Africa, and
That's
I was
different, right?
I was lucky enough to see like scenes, like hunting scenes, and it's very weird because you kind of feel bad for the animal being eaten,
Yeah.
but you kind of understand it, even as
Yeah.
a child. You're not like, I ate the little
Yeah.
Bambi thing.
yeah.
You're like, that's the love of the jungle.
So, safaris,
Yeah.
it's natural reserve. So it's the wild, but then it's one step below the wild.
Well, it's actually the wild that is preserved and contained.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's
Yeah.
one step below. Like
Yeah, of
it's not
course.
perfect, but it's the closest to the wild.
Yeah, but it's pretty close.
Very close.
At very, like, if you scale it down to an animal, I don't think he sees the difference.
I agree, but
Besides seeing like morons in the cars coming in to see them.
yeah, but like there is the wild is the perfect situation for animals, and then there is like natural reserve like safaris, etc., which is really cool because sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you will see
Yeah.
a lot of animals and something beautiful happening. Sometimes you will maybe observe something far away and a couple things, but
Well, it's actually good on two levels. The first one, on the human level, it kind of gives you that sense of adventure, like you're working for something. It's very impressive when you see like those rangers like look at some kind of pile of shit and tell you like there's a like
a buffalo, like 5 miles away.
exactly. Yeah, or smelling some kind of tree and go like hyenas were here. You know,
Yeah,
that's very
yeah.
impressive. You kind of feel like Indiana Jones a bit.
Yeah,
But on the animal side as well, it's nice because they kind of preserve their animal instincts. Whereas in the zoo, you
Exactly.
feed them and stuff like
those
that.
animals were hunting, but
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
zoos they are fed.
Exactly.
Big difference there.
Very big difference.
So, for example, that lion in the zoo, you throw him in the wild.
Probably get his ass kicked.
That's it.
What was that saying? Like tough times create tough people.
Yeah,
tough
yeah.
people create exactly the same for lions, bro.
The zoos create soft people.
Exactly.
Yeah, it definitely creates it will create soft
Like
animals.
basically, lions in zoo will be there. Like, is this gluten free?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Right. Come here.
Is there
baby.
Starbucks? Yeah. So
Yeah, that's that for sure. But I honestly that zoo was cool. We saw a lot of animals. And back to my story about the maintenance guy who was like trying to attract them. I felt like it was a nice gesture because my daughter Sophia got to see an animal up close, especially the giraffe, which was like taller than her dad, which she had a hard time believing. But very, very cool. But I almost wish he didn't do that. Like, just let them be. And then we went to another spot where there was an elephant. And the elephant was way back there because it was kind of a hot day. And he was near some water in the shade. And he waved at him. He threw like carrots on the ground so he would come. But he was like maybe 500 meters away, like 500 yards.
like the thing is really big.
And yeah, it's very big. And he wouldn't move. And I thought it was kind of funny because I almost was like, good for you, elephants.
Yeah,
You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't work here. You
Yeah.
live here, and people occasionally come to observe you.
Yeah.
You don't work here. Like they work here. You just live here. So, and he didn't come, and he started sweating and like waving some branches, and he's like, "Oh, dude, he's killing me. He doesn't want to come. He's very stubborn." I'm like, "Yeah, good for him, man." Like,
Exactly.
that's not his job. I think so. The wild. Then you have like the safari, like these areas where it's like contained, it's protected, but it's very loose. It's very, very big. Also, it's like you need a car.
it's
You cannot
huge.
walk for in safaris. Like nobody walks. Like,
Safaris not. First of all, it's fucking dangerous, bro. like I remember there was like these Chinese guys that came to one of the reserves, saw a pack of lions and went out of the car.
fucking
Like you know. Oh,
the lions
shit.
were like sushi, baby.
Sushi, baby.
Sushi dinner, baby.
Exactly. But you know what's cool with the zoos though? Like this one in Morocco is you can see that the animals maybe they're not the happiest, like because but they're healthy.
They are healthy.
Like I've been to a few zoos where like
Listen.
you can see the animals are suffering. Like lions are anorexic
Man,
and all
the
that
lions
stuff.
were like there was a zoo back in the days in Meknes, and I was very very young, and that
Oh, in
zoo
Meknes?
was like
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Listen, Meknes in the 90s, so believe me, it was rough, even for those animals, especially for those animals. Listen, the lion, you could see his ribs,
Yeah. Oh,
and
horrible.
he was a lion. The difference between a lion and a cat is just his beard, his mane. That's it.
Yeah.
His mane was the only difference. So the mane is the only thing that he didn't lose. He was like so skinny, and just like, and there was a crocodile, and some kids apparently they poked his eye with a branch, so he's like Captain Crook, like it's Captain Hook. So it's like very bad. Captain Crook.
Yeah,
So.
well.
Very, very bad.
No, it's
and
very
it
bad.
didn't smell that nice. It was more like
Yeah,
a park
that's horrible.
hybrid between a park and a zoo. So this zoo is very well protected. And I heard your brother actually told me that he knows he knows one of the person who is responsible and who's working at that zoo. And they also verify the origin before they buy an animal. It needs to be an animal who was in distress, that was bought legally. So
Yeah.
no how do you call it? Poachers? Is that how you call it?
Let's call
Poachers.
it that.
Let's call it poachers.
We're not gonna do another modelable.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
go there. So some poachers. So it's bought legally. It's not like
No,
endangered.
it's very well.
pretty cool. So zoos also serve to protect endangered species
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes some koalas, whatever, like they save them. Of course, the unfortunate thing is that they cannot throw them back in the wild because that's it. They are used to be fed. It's very, very tough.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Um,
some of them do. Like, depends on the type of animal, I guess, and how how used, like how much he got used to
yeah.
being pampered.
Yeah, exactly. And then there is another category of where the public can mingle with wild animals is circuses.
Yeah, well,
That's rough. That's fucked up.
well.
That's rough.
To be fair, I think it's something that's less and less. That we see less and less. Like now,
That's true.
you see like mainly horses. You don't see those tigers so much anymore. You don't see
True,
those
true,
thing.
true.
But it's also something that's still there. But I will say something else. Like besides circuses, there's also those water life parks.
Oh man, that's bad.
That's the worst.
That's the worst.
Like it's like taking
That's
a
the
lion
word.
and putting him in a bathtub.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you have sharks, you have dolphins, you have all
And
this
here is
stuff.
the thing:
Mm.
you should not like a circus or like a whale or whatever, like a shark or whatever. Animals should not perform tricks.
Yeah, no,
They're not supposed to jump circles. They're not. A lion is not supposed to ride a horse. It's not supposed to. Like a monkey is not supposed to dance. And let me tell you about the dancing monkey. A long time ago, I was a kid. I was maybe 10 or 11,
Uh-huh.
and school there was a big circus coming here. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Le Cirque Pinder.
Maybe.
Very, very big circus,
Yeah.
very famous in Europe and all over the world.
Mhm.
They came to my city, Meknes, which was a relatively small city. It still is. I mean, it's a medium-sized city. So the professors at my school the teachers were so happy. Everybody in school was so happy that they decided to take all the kids on a field trip to go see that.
Yeah.
I went there and I felt awkward. I didn't like it. The hey, Shaka, hey,
Ladies and gentlemen,
hey,
welcome, and all that
hey,
stuff.
And
Yeah,
the, and the whip, hey, and the lion who's jumping like a circle, a fire circle, like hey. No, this is all good. No, you
No,
can't hear.
there's like just my headphone is a bit.
Oh, how about now? Is it good?
Nope. But it's all good.
Still not good. You want to take this? Check this.
All right.
Technical difficulty, no problem.
No worries.
They'll understand.
I think you just touched this, no?
No,
You were playing around with
no,
it,
No,
no?
I was playing
Alright.
around, but I didn't
All right.
do anything
Aléa
major.
du direct.
Aléa du direct. Aléa du direct.
The direct
So-
of the alias.
Yeah, you can hear, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's good.
So we were, and they took us to that circus, and we saw, of course, lions performing, monkeys jumping on horses' backs and performing things. And
Are you
also
talking about the
humans.
animals or the people?
Well, probably both.
Ah,
So
okay.
I didn't feel good, and they showed us a monkey who was dancing.
Yeah.
And back in school, one of our professor told us about that that the monkey who dances, who smokes, etc., is something very popular also in Marrakesh in Jam El Fna,
Yeah.
and which is a big place, in Marrakesh. I'll just look it up. I'm gonna lose my points by telling you doing some touristy thing about Marrakesh, but really cool place. But anyways, so you have a lot of people performing, telling stories and having people around them, or having a monkey who smokes and blah blah blah. Anyways, so the monkey story is that the Pavlov, the thing where you put like music and then he associates the music with dancing, but the thing is, they put music, they put him on a hot plate, like hot, like on a stove, with
When
the
he goes
hot
like,
metal
"Hey,
plate,
ow,
and
ow."
and they put the music and they turn the heat on, so he keeps like like because it's too hot. They do it a few times until he
Yeah.
gets the memo, and
Yeah.
then they turn the heat off, and then he doesn't need the heat. As soon as he remembers the music, he thinks the heat, he associates that with the heat, and
Yeah,
he starts
yeah.
jumping. So what
it-
we are witnessing
It's
is in
torture.
fact torture.
Yeah.
It's
And
not,
sometimes even like it's an execution.
yeah,
Like magicians do it with birds.
yeah,
Like
they execute them.
like those things where the cage
Collapses, yeah.
collapses and the bird disappears. Well, the bird is splashed on the bottom, and it's yeah.
So,
But you know the funny thing about all this is, like, for instance, that sea life thing. When I was a kid, we used to go to SeaWorld.
in Florida,
No, in South Africa,
yeah, okay,
which is basically a torture place for anything that's
For sure.
sea
Absolutely.
related.
Yeah, yeah.
But weirdly, as it made me fall in love with that wildlife.
Yeah.
And I think that I wouldn't be as you know, like
Fond of animals.
fond, not just fond of animals, but weirdly enough, they educate you on how it's important to preserve that sea life and all that stuff
By
and,
torturing them.
and
They show
stuff
you
like
what
that.
not to do.
Exactly. It's crazy.
No, it's true. I mean, those animals are just so majestic,
Man, it's,
majestic, and they torture them. They make them do tricks. So, like, one of my thing that I just remember is, I mean, one of the rules I think that everybody should follow is that, first of all, ask yourself, is the animal having fun? Probably not. Okay. Second thing is the animal supposed to do that? Would he do that in the wild? If he would not do that in the wild, then you should not make him do that. Same thing for, let's talk about something slightly different, but not so much. People who have dogs, cats, etc., especially dogs,
Yeah.
and they make them perform tricks. Oh, look, he's gonna give me the hand. Give me the hand. Give me the hand. Dude, he's not supposed to give you the hand. He's not
I
a
agree.
circus animal. Don't teach your dog anything but being clean and not biting people and just basically
yeah,
living.
you still want him to have that kind of like to have some kind of personality.
True.
Like I see a lot of people having dogs that are like super well trained.
Yeah.
Like and to get to that level of training usually goes with not so Catholic methods.
No, usually they starve them with food. Food is also a
Yeah,
great way.
they shock them with stuff. They
Yeah.
do a lot of things, and then you get a dog that is probably your best. Instead of being your best friend,
Yeah.
he's your best slave,
Exactly. Exactly.
and that's not very fun.
And you know, there are a lot of, I don't know about the other countries, but in Morocco, there are a lot of dog trainers.
Yeah,
And they train them to, I can train them to do whatever. Dude, just train him.
no, you
be happy.
you terrorize them.
Exactly.
To do whatever.
And then
I
you know-
brought a trainer for my dog.
Okay.
It lasted like 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not happy with the method.
I just saw the stuff that he was taking out, like those necklaces,
Chokers,
with
yeah, with the spikes, yeah.
spikes, chokers, stuff. I was like, bro, you didn't understand this side of it here.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
And my dog turned out just fine.
yeah, exactly.
With
Exactly.
a little bit of Monica in my life.
You know, like it's, I just don't like that. That's why I was talking to a friend who told me that that's why he likes cats, because cats have big personality. They do whatever the fuck they want. You'll say, hey, come here. Hey, you come here. You come here. Like the dog, even like dead, like asleep, you would wake him up and say, "Boopy, boopy, come here, and he would come.
Yeah.
The cat, she would look at you and say, yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
true.
So I don't
Well,
know.
I think it's different relationship. Dogs, I don't know. Me personally, with my dog, I have like blind trust.
For sure.
Like blind trust.
Well, not that you would need to trust him. Like,
No, like,
trust him with what? With your bank account?
No, what I mean is like I could do whatever I wanted to him. You would
Yeah, he wouldn't budge. For
he wouldn't
sure.
budge
Yeah.
one
No,
second. And and there's like I really think there's like this real connection with dogs that I didn't find in cats. Maybe it exists, but
I agree. I agree. I think cats are much more like hard to get.
no, and they have more. I think they're less submissive
For
in
sure.
their approach. You know, like when they tell you like those old ladies that die that have cats.
Mm.
Cats start eating the lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where dogs, when they lose their owners or stuff
Yeah.
like that, they
They would
starve to
just
death.
starve to death. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, true.
even if
True.
they have food,
Mhm.
that's crazy.
Yeah. No, I think back to what we were saying before is that like I think like animals in the wild,
Mm.
that's great. Animals in like natural reserves, like in South Africa, etc., Kenya, etc., that's good. That's actually pretty cool. Because they really try to respect them as much as possible while providing some kind of
Mhm.
protection, and they are still hunting, etc. Then we go a step down, which is the zoo. A zoo, it really depends. I think this one in Rabat, they seem pretty okay. They seem pretty happy. And even the glass is very thick. So some people, I don't know, they were like, when they see like a hyena like
Yeah.
sleeping, they were like knock. So the hyena would wake up and like, I don't know what, take a selfie with the hyena or whatever. But the glass is so thick, even when you knock, it doesn't actually
No.
translate inside. So he doesn't hear you, which is awesome. I think these small details make a big difference. Because imagine if like any type of animal was trying to sleep behind the glass and everybody was like banging, like it would drive them nuts.
No, you know, you just reminded me of there's this aquarium. I think it's somewhere in the States, probably LA,
Okay.
and like it says like do not take pictures with flash,
Okay.
which
Yeah,
and
because it stresses them out.
no, what was crazy is that scene. I don't know if you could find that video and put it like
Probably.
well,
I
actually,
will.
it's a bit gore, so I'm not sure. Basically, someone takes a picture in the aquarium with the flash, and there's this fish that goes crazy and goes straight to the glass and
Bangs itself.
and splashes like there's blood, like
Oh
he
my God.
crashes into the glass, going for that flash. So
Yeah, I think we need to be educated on
Exactly.
how to respect animals. Yes, we are here to observe them if they let us. They are
we
not
already
here to
messed up
perform.
so much of their
Exactly.
environments.
Exactly. And then but back to our level,
Hmm.
everybody likes to have a dog. Everybody likes to have a pet, especially
Mhm.
dogs. They are. I figure. I think dogs are a little bit more popular than cats, but dogs and cats are the two most popular for sure everywhere.
Hmm.
I feel always a little bit like this is a decision that should not be taken lightly, especially when a
Ooh.
young child say, "Daddy, Daddy, I want a dog." All right, maybe
No.
it's a good opportunity for your child to learn responsibility, but or maybe he will not be ready, and this dog is gonna suffer. A dog is not supposed to be pulled like a rag doll. It's not. It's not
No.
a stuffy. It's not like a stuffed animal. You have to give him freedom. You have. It's such a
huge
big responsibility.
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's people that go on vacation and they just throw away their dogs because they don't want to
Bother with him.
bother
Yeah.
with him
With
and
it.
stuff.
So yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's true that like having a dog is not easy.
No, it's not.
You cannot like leave him in the house and just go about your week
Yeah.
and not
Care
care.
for him. For sure.
He needs like to be taken care of physically, emotionally.
Yeah. It's not just food and
no,
water.
no,
it's also
uh,
like he needs to play around. He needs people.
and
Some
he needs
dogs
boundaries as well. Like
and some dogs get depressed when you leave them all day. So you
Of
need to
course.
keep that in mind. Like
or
it's
they
not
destroy
just,
your house.
Yeah, because they
Or-
get depressed.
Yeah,
And then you come back and you beat them up, and then
that's
whose
another
fault is
thing,
it?
man. Some people don't understand that you can get. It's not because they don't speak that they can't understand.
Man,
stuff.
they are the most vulnerable people who don't speak or animals who don't speak, and I feel like they deserve the most protection.
And thank God they couldn't speak because then
They
I
would
wouldn't
lash
speak to a
out on us.
lot to a lot of humans.
One day I was in Marrakesh
Yeah.
and I was driving around and in Gilis and I saw like a young kid, probably 12, with his dog and German Shepherd, and the young kid to be honest, he seemed like he was homeless, or maybe like those kind of kids who like beggars, etc. Like not very well off, and he was like yanking on the leash and hitting him and like screaming at him, when I tell you to come here, you come here. And he was like beating him and like yanking at him. And I just stopped in the middle of the street in my car, and I pulled down the glass, the window, and I said, hey, stop. And he said, no,
He's my dog.
It's my dog. I tell you the story. I said, like, and that's everything that's wrong with this.
Yeah.
Like, he's not your dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog that you take care of. You need to take care of him.
Exactly.
He's not like he's not your slave. So he's your dog. So you should be the one who's more concerned about his well-being, not like, oh, he's my dog, so I do whatever I want with it. Like, what if I told you, oh, it's my child, I can beat her up, I can beat her. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
You
It's
are
exactly the same
number
thing.
one responsibility.
You are
the
number
front
one.
line.
But that's the thing. A lot of it comes with education. Because, for instance, if we take Morocco, until very recently, we had that thing where a dog is like at the bottom of the social
hierarchy,
chain,
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Like another thing is like that we have a lot on that kind of honestly always used to shock me every time I came back to Morocco was donkeys.
Man, I was gonna mention that right after. Yeah,
Like donkeys, man, they have
we
like,
mistreat them bad.
man, so bad. Like first of all, they put those ropes around
Their ankles, so they don't run away.
Then they put like
Tremendous weight on their
3-4
backs.
tons.
Dude, I looked up. We went to see horses also with my daughter. This last week was like very animal oriented, and we went to see horses. And I was like, when I was young, I used to ride horses, and I'm like, so what do you think about riding horses? Do you think it's something you feel comfortable with, or we shouldn't even ride them?
Look, the way I see it is that I'm not extremist to the point where I don't understand that we're also part of the jungle. Right? If we can use some stuff like back in the day, like and stuff, why not?
It's a hierarchy thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but once again, the best horses, the best things are the ones that are treated the best.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's more about education and understanding the animal and its needs. Because you could say the same thing about a dog. Like, wouldn't a dog be happier if he was free in the wild and whatever and stuff?
That's a good debate. I'm not sure.
But at the same time, you see how dogs are. You're like, I think he's pretty happy.
Yeah.
But it's all about like the approach of the intentions that you have behind it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of horses that are treated as a pretty decent way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think horses are not as mistreated as donkeys.
No, hell no.
Because donkeys in Morocco...
Because they hold value.
Yeah.
Donkeys don't hold shit.
Donkeys are cheap.
And they're amazing animals.
They are. They are very resistant.
Did you ever see a donkey that's been taken care of? How beautiful that animal is. Like it's all fluffy and...
Dude, listen. Yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger has a donkey. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but
That chills in his house. That's like high
in his
level.
pool. That goes in the pool, man.
Yeah.
Like if a donkey here saw that, he would be like, "This is great." Nah, that's not a donkey.
Yeah, he chills with him like,
so yeah,
have a drink, bro.
So, horse can carry, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 20 or 25% of his weight. Imagine.
Yeah.
So roughly,
How much
80
is
kilos. 80
How much
kilograms.
does a horse weigh?
Well, I looked it up for
Must
me
be
because
like 500 kilos. or
yeah,
something.
probably 500 around that. So
Yeah, it's
so roughly
quite an animal.
quite an animal. So roughly he can carry comfortably 100.
Yeah.
So sometimes I see some small donkeys carrying more than that and
Yeah,
dragging.
but I think donkeys,
more
compared
resistant?
to their weight, carry
carry more.
because they have like that
They're stuck.
that big ass body. You know, those like 4 little feet gotta go.
Listen. Today I went to the farm
Hmm.
And
You should get donkeys, bro.
listen, I want to get one, but then some people told me they go in pairs because they get bored, and I don't know if I can handle two. But I want to like,
Why not?
I don't know. What do you feed a donkey? Like carrots?
Man, in Morocco,
Yeah, but
if you feed him, you already won.
you're already head of the group.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like I want to get one and show him the life, the time of his life.
Yeah, you know, like you can have him like you treat him while it can entertain
Yeah.
children. You know,
Exactly. Like just be around and call him. I don't know, like.
and plus, it fertilizes your land.
Exactly, he poops
Like,
everywhere.
He eats like all those bad herbs and shits everywhere, and
Honestly,
there you go, you have nice,
that's what I want to do.
soil.
That's what I want to do. I want to have like a donkey and really have him like as a pet,
Yeah, you
being
know, like-
friendly,
like,
not have him
washing
carry,
him
yeah, washing him
making
and
sure that he
like
doesn't have
brushing his
any-
teeth, and he would be like, "Hey, hey, guys," teaching him English, you know. Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but I think we should treat animals a little bit better ourselves. It's easy to criticize zoos and circuses and etc. But think twice before you buy your kid an animal. It's a big responsibility. You have to make this. It's not just about feeding the animal. It's about entertaining the animal, going out, having him go for runs,
And
play around,
sacrifice.
etc.
A lot of sacrifice.
He would give you that five folds.
Like
five
sometimes
times.
you don't go to out. Sometimes you don't travel. Sometimes you sometimes
You make
you have
sacrifices, for sure.
financial struggles because like
You need to feed him.
no, besides feeding him, sometimes like you never know what could happen. Like he can break a leg and have an operation and all that stuff. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's basically not to compare. I'm not a dad or something, but it's basically a child.
I think 100%. Sorry. Yeah, 100%. I think it's a
Are
big
you okay, bro?
responsibility. Yeah, I'm a little tired. You know, Ramadan
Yeah,
around
me
the corner. Ramadan is tough. But anyways, yeah. So don't go to circuses. And honestly, I don't even like when people are like doing some crazy flips and twisting and turning. I'm like, your body is not supposed to do that. This is not pleasant for me to watch. This is cringe, man.
It's true that circuses have that kind of
Extreme.
no,
vibe
and
around
it's
them.
something.
I don't know.
It's something that can easily go wrong
Yeah.
in front of you. So it's very stressful in a way.
But don't people expect something to go wrong? Like this is what they're waiting for?
Some
Secretly,
sicos, I
they're
guess.
hoping. They're like, yeah, well, if you go to see a F1 race, you're like, I hope there is a big crash and like tires flying around. Like that would be exciting. Oh, he won. Okay, well, that was cool.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know about that. Maybe.
Maybe. Just tell us
But-
in the comments.
Are you a psycho too?
Are you tell us if you are a psycho. So I think this is it for today, right? This is a wrap. Thank you so much for
Very
following
good.
us. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, comment.
And to take
Tell
care
us-
of your animals.
Yeah, take care of your animals. Tell us what kind of animals you have, what kind of experience you have with animals. And we will see you next week. All right. Peace
Sounds
out.
good.